The Awakening of Jay. In the depths of an ancient forest, where the moonlight barely pierced the dense canopy of twisted branches, a boy named Jay lay unconscious. He was 15, with skin as deep and rich as mahogany, striking brown eyes that shimmered like polished amber, and the most exquisite dreads imaginable, woven with threads of vibrant red that danced in the wind. Little did he know, he was more than just a boy lost in the woods. He was the son of Vincent, God himself, sent to this world to save it from its pending doom. But all of that was just a distant memory, erased in the chaos of his arrival. Days slipped by like whispers in the breeze. The only sounds accompanying him were the rustles of leaves and the distant calls of creatures that prowled the night, starved and exhausted. He wandered the labyrinth of trees, each twist and turn only leading him deeper into the heart of the wilderness. Hunger gnawed at his stomach, and fear clawed his mind, threatening to unravel whatever strength he had left. It was not until a particularly chilling night, when the moon was shrouded in clouds, that he stumbled into a clearing and collapsed, surrendering to the darkness. When Jay finally awoke, it was not in the comforting embrace of sunlight or the sounds of nature, but rather the sterile chill of a hospital room. The harsh scent of antiseptic filled his nostrils, and fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Panic set in as he tried to rise, but a wave of dizziness pushed him down. His heart raced, echoing the erratic beeping of the monitor next to him. A figure approached, a boy his age, with tousled hair and easy grin that hinted at a hidden depth. "Yo, you finally awake? Name's Joshua," he said, his voice friendly yet cautious. "Where am I?" Jay croaked, his throat dry and cracked. "In a hospital. You collapsed in the woods. They found you just in time," Joshua replied. "What's your name?" "Jay," he whispered, unsure of what he was saying, as if his own name felt foreign to his tongue. The moment the words escaped his lips, a flicker of recognition washed over him, but it was fleeting, like smoke dissipating in the air. He had no memories of who he was or why he was here. "Jay, huh? You got a whole vibe about you, bro," Joshua remarked, looking at him with a mixture of curiosity and concern. "You remember anything?" "Not really," Jay admitted, a frown creasing his brow. "I feel like I'm supposed to know something important, but it's just gone." As he spoke, a shadow crossed Joshua's face, and he leaned closer, lowering his voice. "Listen, man, there's something weird about this place. I lived here my whole life, and I've never seen anyone like you. You don't belong here, do you?" Jay shook his head, his heart pounding. "I don't know where I belong." "Okay, but you've got to trust me. There's more going on than meets the eye. You're not just some kid. You've got power in you. I can feel it," Joshua said, his eyes narrowing. "But you got to remember who you are." The words stuck Jay like lightning, igniting a spark in him. He didn't know how, but he felt it. Somewhere deep down, there was a well of strength waiting to be unleashed. Determined to piece together the fragments of his shattered identity, Jay began his journey of self-discovery, guided by the enigmatic Joshua and the few friends he managed to make in this strange town. Rico the smither, Jessica the gardener, and Tanner the barber, Dylan of the brig, and Jacob of the hill. As days turned into weeks, Jay trained relentlessly, tapping into the power he could barely comprehend. He ran through the woods practicing fighting with Rico, who forged weapons that shimmered with unknown energies, and honed his ability with Jessica, who taught him to connect with nature in ways he had never imagined. Every day, he felt the pull of his father's presence, a faint whisper that urged him to remember. But the town held secrets, dark, menacing forces that thrived in the shadows. Whispers of a malevolent entity spread like wildfire. A being that thrived on chaos and fear had been awakened by the very same energy that coursed through Jay. One night, as Jay and his friends gathered under the ancient oak in the clearing, a sense of foreboding settled over them. The air crackled with tension and the moon hung low, casting an eerie glow over the gathering. "I've been having dreams," Jay confessed, and his voice barely above whisper. "Dreams of fire and darkness, of someone calling my name." "That's it, man," Dylan exclaimed, his voice laced with urgency. "You're connected to something bigger. You have to confront it." "Yeah, but how? I don't even know who I am," Jay snapped, frustration bubbling to the surface. Joshua stepped forward, his expression serious. "You'll never find out by hiding. You have to face this darkness. If you're truly Vincent's son, you can't let it consume you. It's coming for you, Jay. It's hungry." The realization hit Jay like a punch to the gut. He had been running from the truth, afraid of what he might find. But the darkness wouldn't wait, and neither would the entity feeding on fear and despair. As they made plans to confront the looming threat, Jay felt a shift within himself, a fierce determination rising to the surface. One stormy night, they set out into the woods, guided by the pull of the entity's malevolence. The wind howled through the trees, and the sky roared with thunder, mirroring the chaos within Jay's heart. As they ventured deeper, an overwhelming sense of dread enveloped them, and shadows danced along the edge of their vision. Suddenly, they stumbled upon an ancient altar, half buried beneath twisted roots and thick vines. A malevolent presence loomed, dark and formless, whispering promises of power and control. "Welcome, Jay," it hissed, a voice like gravel scraping against metal. "I've been waiting for you." Jay's pulse quickened. "Who are you?" "I am the embodiment of fear, the darkness you've been running from," it replied, a laugh echoing through the clearing. "You can't escape your fate, child of Vincent. You're destined to join me." "No way," Jay shouted, his voice ringing with defiance. "I am not afraid of you." The air crackling with energy as Jay tapped into the remnants of his powers, memories flooding back like a rushing tide. Visions of his father, Vincent, flashed before his eyes. Strength, light, and the promise of salvation. He remembered the weight of the world's sins resting on his shoulders, the responsibility that came with his bloodline. With newfound clarity, Jay faced the darkness, his friends standing strong behind him. "I am Jay, son of Vincent. I will not let you take me or this town." The entity roared. A storm of rage and despair swirled around them. Shadows reached out, clawing at him, but Jay stood firm, channeling the strength of his friends, the love of his father, and the truth of who he was. The air shimmered as light burst forth from him, illuminating the clearing and banishing the darkness that threatened to engulf them. As the malevolent presence shrieked and writhed, Jay unleashed the full force of his power. He felt the world shift, the balance of light and dark teetering on the edge. With a final surge of energy, he thrust his hands forward. A blinding flash erupted from his core. The darkness screamed, a sound that echoed through the woods before it was swallowed by the light. The clearing fell silent. The shadows dissipated like smoke. Jay collapsed to his knees, panting heavily, feeling the weight of the world lift. His friends rushed to his side, a mix of relief and awe on their faces. "You did it, Jay. You faced it," Joshua exclaimed, his eyes wide with admiration. "I couldn't have done it without y'all," Jay replied, his voice shaky but filled with gratitude. As dawn broke over the horizon, the sun's golden rays filtered through the trees, casting warmth over the clearing. In that moment, Jay understood his purpose. He was not just a boy lost in a strange world, but a beacon of hope, a protector forged in the crucible of darkness. With each step he took towards reclaiming his identity, he felt closer to his father and the legacy he was meant to uphold. Though the woods held many mysterious yet to be unraveled, Jay knew he was no longer alone. With Joshua and his friends by his side, he would uncover the truth of his existence, harness his powers, and face whatever challenges lay ahead. The world may have forgotten him, but if he was determined to forge his own destiny, a legacy that would resonate through the ages as a son of God, bold, daring, and unyielding against the horrors that lurked in the shadows. Goodbye, everyone!